Hey there folks, I'm Alex the Whyzer Owl, and today's This or That is going to be the D model OS against a 2020 run of D1. So the past three This or That's have all been understable discs. We started with the P model US versus the PA4. Then we went with the M model US versus the M4. And then last week we did the F model US versus the H4 V2. This week we're going big boy overstable with these drivers that are overstable. So let's get right into the hand feel of the D1 versus the D model OS. So when you have these next to each other, you can definitely see that there's a slight dome on the D model OS and a little bit more taper that makes it feel a little deeper in the hand than D1, and I think it gives a little bit more glide to the D model OS. So it's a little bit windy here in New England because fall is upon us, so we're throwing into a little bit of a headwind, but these are both overstable discs, so let's see how they perform next to each other. So when you throw a D1 into the wind, it's just gonna hold dead straight and then fade. D1s are designed to fight the wind, and it does that admirably. The D model OS, on the other hand, thrown flat into the headwind, you'll see it gets a little bit of turn before fighting back into the wind. And even with this throw, you see I fell down at the end, and that little bit of extra glide I feel gives you a little bit more forgivability with it. If I had fallen down with a D1, I'm expecting that to not even go 3/4 of its full flight before it pans out. Throwing them with a bit of anhyzer, I throw that D1, I really try to get on top of it to get that little flat flex flight out of it, and it's gonna hold that turn and then knife forward, almost getting me a nice little goal here. The D model OS, on the other hand, on that little bit of anhyzer angle, that headwind makes it wanna hold that angle for a lot longer before it starts flattening out. Both of these discs did a really nice job holding the hyzer angle into the wind. Neither of them fully popped up. I feel like the D1 on that hyzer, it never deviated off of the angle I released it on and just coasted the entire way. It never dipped, it never flipped, it just stayed right on the angle I put it on. The D model OS on that hyzer, I feel like that glide made it penetrate a little bit further forward before it started knifing down, but I wouldn't say it stood up on me. Just feel like it's a little bit more glidey in that hyzer flight. For a this or a that, they're both gonna give you a lot of distance. If you're an established MPO player, I would say the D1 is still gonna be your choice because it's gonna give you more dependable overstability than the D model OS will. The D model OS, for those people who might be a little bit newer to MPO or just starting to throw that faster, more overstable stuff, this is gonna give you a little bit more forgivability and maybe a little bit more distance with that extra glide, but the D1 is just gonna be a little bit more dependable and hold up to the wind a little bit better. So if you're thinking about picking either of these ones up, you can check them out at your favorite retailer. As always, if you like this video, like, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, play Whyzer.